KATV. This is Channel 7 News at 6.
Tonight, a building collapse in downtown Morrilton kills a young girl and injures several others. We'll have team coverage tonight, including what could have led to the disaster.
Plus, disturbing crimes in Saline County as vases are stolen from grave sites. What police believe the thieves are really after.
And giving disaster assistance for those hurting from the storms. How FEMA is branching out. Channel 7 News at 6 starts now. Without much warning, a century-old building in Morrilton collapses today, killing a young girl and injuring at least 4 others. Good evening, and thanks for watching tonight. I'm Scott Inman.
And I'm Christina Munoz. It happened at the corner of Division and Broadway in downtown Morrilton. Investigators are still working to determine exactly what caused the building to collapse. Channel 7's Michelle Rupp is live in Morrilton tonight with our top story. Michelle?
Well, Christina, you can see behind me what is left of the Merle Norman cosmetic store, as well as a locally owned photography and formal wear store. Right now, crews are continuing to go through what is left of the building that just 6 hours ago was standing tall. It was like something that happened in a movie. At noon in downtown Morrilton, the historical building came crashing down.
Oh my gosh, I had goosebumps and shaking. Never seen anything like it.
Kylie was only a block away and describes what she experienced.
I just heard a boom, so I just ran to the road to see what it was, and there was dust everywhere. So I came down and just, hearing people screaming, and everything was just happening so fast.
The mayor says some talked about hearing noises coming from the building.
People in the Merle Norman studio said they heard the building. In fact, the building had been kind of creaking and groaning for the past couple of days.
What should have been a sidewalk busy with people going to lunch is now a rescue scene.
I just seen them chunking bricks. They were just left and right so fast. And then I guess all the volunteers kind of walked away when the ambulance and stuff got here, and they took them.
And workers will be here throughout the night going through what remains of the building. They are asking for the public to please just stay away. We're live in Morrilton. Michelle Rupp, Channel 7 News.
Thank you, Michelle. It was a surreal scene out of Morrilton as officials pulled people from the wreckage, moving debris aside brick by brick.
Channel 7's Katharina Yancey is live tonight. She spoke with a family of the victim, the little girl who was pulled out from that rubble. She's live with more. Katharina.
Yes, we're learning more about the only confirmed death here. The victim is 2-year-old Alyssa Elizabeth Jones. She was playing in the vacant building as her mom and aunt cleaned it. The family tells me the baby died on the scene, a very tragic after beams fell on her and her family. Alyssa's mom, Erin, and Aunt Savannah have been through surgery today at a local hospital, and they are considered in stable condition. There were 2 other people who were seriously injured here at this location. Also tonight, you will hear from a man who was able to go through the wreckage and save 3 women from the Merle Norman store next door. I'll have that story coming up. Live in Morrilton, Katharina Yancey, Channel 7 News.
Thank you, Katharina. Well, elevators are inspected by the state each year, but there are no inspections required for commercial buildings, not even really old buildings.
And if the structure that crumbled today in Morrilton was not a century old, it was certainly close. Age almost certainly playing a role in the collapse, but what else was a factor, and who will have to determine the cause? 7 on your sides, Jason Peterson is live with that story tonight. Jason?
Scott, after visiting with Morrilton Mayor Stuart Nelson, as well as a building inspector and an insurance agent, we have identified some factors that likely contributed to this structural failure. Morrilton City Inspector Greg Woodard has been asked to find not only a structural engineer, but a person with experience looking at historic buildings to determine a cause. Mayor Nelson also says the insurance companies involved will likely send their own experts, especially since injuries and a death occurred. A Morrilton eye doctor, J.J. Maggie of Conway, owned the Merle Norman building. Up until recently, Bobby's Wedding Creations next door was owned by Bobby Little and her husband Mike. Now, the store closed May 2nd for remodeling. A permit for wiring and a permit for plumbing were issued, but Mayor Nelson says no permit for structural changes was issued because none was required. The mayor says wood, old 2x4s, were being taken out. And he also says the roof had been re-rolled numerous times over the years and that the weight of all that material would easily collapse a typical home. Mayor Nelson says the combination of the remodeling project and the heavy roof looks suspicious. Experts will determine the collapse's exact cause. In the studio, Jason Peterson, Channel 7 News.
And we have some breaking news tonight. Lonoke County Sheriff's Office confirming a homicide in the town of Furlow tonight. Police say it was a white male, the victim, who was killed around 3:30 this afternoon. Right now, the name and age both being withheld. Police do say they have a 17-year-old white male in custody at this time. We will bring you more information as the investigation continues. And a fire at a recycling center in Little Rock under investigation tonight. L&W Environmental LLC on Ironton Road caught fire last night. It's still unknown exactly what caused the blaze. A man killed in a hit-and-run accident Friday has been identified. Little Rock police say a brown Cadillac struck 37-year-old Corey Baugh on Arch Street just north of 65th. He was taken to the hospital and later died. Police are still looking for the Cadillac and the driver of it. They say the car would certainly have damage in the front. If you've seen any Cadillacs like it, or have any other information about the crime, call police.
New at 6, Benton police are investigating a string of truly disturbing crimes. Thieves have stolen around 100 vases from grave sites at the new Rosemont Cemetery over the last month. Channel 7's Roger Susanna joins us live in the studio with more on the investigation. And Roger, why do police think robbers have targeted this cemetery?
Well, Christina, investigators believe these thieves are looking for copper vases. And if you take a look at this video, you can see the new Rosemont Cemetery has many of those, although they have a lot fewer now than they did a month ago. Benton police say they are following multiple leads, and they are doing everything they can to bring whoever is responsible for this insensitive crime to justice.
So we're doing very heavy extra patrols throughout not just this cemetery, but other cemeteries throughout our city to try to possibly catch these people because, I mean, inevitably if they continue doing this, they will get caught.
Police say the street value of the missing vases is between $7,000 and $8,000, but you obviously cannot put a price tag on the grief these thefts have caused for so many of the families that have been affected. Live in the studio tonight, Roger Suzanne, Channel 7 News.
And in a Channel 7 News follow-up tonight, it looks like levees in South Arkansas are holding up against the floodwaters coming from the Mississippi River. The river has crested at 53 feet in Chico County, but residents are still waiting it out. Officials say they're concerned that the river won't begin to go down for several more days. So until then, workers continue to watch for weak spots in the levees and use sandbags to block any openings.
Well, this semester has been a daunting one for area schools with so many days missed from the snow, tornadoes, and floods. It's so many days, in fact, that some say they won't be able to make it all up. Now, each school is required to be in session for 178 days for a fiscal school year. Now, schools are having to ask for waivers from the Arkansas Department of Education, so students won't have to make up all of those missed days. Well, today, the state board approved Alpena's request for 1 day to be waived. 1 day was granted for Beebe, 4 days approved for Valonia, 3 days for Des Arc, 1 day for Huntsville, and 1 for Clinton. And detailed requests from Pulaski County Special School District is still being considered.
A disaster recovery center has opened in Jacksonville to help victims from the recent tornadoes and flooding in Pulaski County. Coming up, more on the help it will provide.
But first, a look at this warm weather that we're about to be having in the state and if we'll be seeing any more changes. Ned's got your forecast next.